Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Jacko Fall, Master of None, and today I thought I would have a look at real world accuracy of some of my watch collection. So I'm going to take my cheapest watch, which is this unbranded AliExpress special, which is about £50, through a selection of watches in the price range of the watches I've got, all the way up to the Omega Seamaster, and I'm going to see how they perform in the real world. Over a 24-hour period, I'm going to just carry on with my daily activity after setting the watch against an accurate timer on my phone. I mean, who uses a watch for telling the time? And we'll see how it performs after about 24 hours or so, and see if there's any difference between the cheapest, which I paid £50 for, right up to the Seamaster, which I paid £2,000 for, although I think the equivalent model now would cost you nearer £5. So without further ado, let's have a look at these watches and see how they perform. So here are the 6 watches I've selected. The first one, representing the super cheapy range, is an unbranded watch, a pilot style watch that I got from AliExpress for under £70, and this one has a Miyota automatic movement. The second one is the Pagani Design GMT, that has a pearl, I believe, movement in it, a Chinese movement, a GMT movement, and that represents the sub £200, so that was just under £100, about £95 I think. The next one was the Zeppelin. So this is the Zeppelin Hindenburg model, and this one comes in at about just under £200. The next one is the Steinhart Ocean 1, which I paid £350 for. The Ward Trident Pro, this would have been about £600 new, so that represents that sort of price range, so double that one. And then right up the top with the Omega Seamaster, which I paid £2,000 for, as I say, but I think the equivalent watch now is about £4,500 to £5,000. So let's see how we get on with those. So I've got my phone app up here with an accurate time. There may be some delay because of the internet, but at least it'll be consistent against all the watches, and after all it's only a bit of fun just to see how they perform against each other rather than how they perform against a particular clock. So I've got my watch set at 10:20. This has a hacking movement with the crown wheel out here with this. It's out. As soon as I push that in, the second hand will start exactly at 10:20. So as soon as this app on the phone comes down to 10:20, I'll get it going, and then tomorrow roughly at this time I'll see how it's performed. So it's on its way to 10:20 exactly. Let's have a look at this side by side. As you can see, my watch is set to exactly 10:20, the second hand at the top in the hacked position. So let's just see how this little baby runs after 24 hours. Let the countdown begin. 2, 1. There we go. So let's just check that. 5 bang on. So we're at now 10:20, and we will see how accurate it is against this app tomorrow after roughly 24 hours or so. Be interesting to see. Ooh, it's all exciting now. So we're only a few minutes off seeing how this watch has performed over roughly 24 hours, although it probably will be bang on 24 hours because I will leave the camera running, and so we get the 10:20, which is where I believe I started yesterday. I will freeze frame during editing, and then I can see exactly where the second hand is when we get to 10:20. So the watch is currently going up to 10:20, and the watch is now there, 10:20. So it looks like it's running about 10 seconds fast. Yeah, maybe a little bit more, but I'll have a look on the freeze frame and I will put the exact result on the screen. Interesting. So let's see how the next watch performs. And so the pilot watch with the Miyota 5215 is running 11 seconds fast. So here we have the Pagani GMT. It's all set at 9 o'clock in the hacked position, and as soon as this comes up to 9 o'clock we'll get the test underway. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. It's going to be probably just under 24 hours tomorrow, probably about 8:45. I might even be in the car because I've got somewhere to go tomorrow, but it'll be an interesting test nonetheless. Okay, so with the Pagani, we're a little bit early this morning. It's not quite 24 hours, but that's just the way it is. I have to go out and I don't want to really set it again. I suppose I ought to, but anyway, so the Pagani is coming up to 8:15, and here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8:15. So it looks like the Pagani is also running a little bit quick, about 15-16 seconds. So what do we think about that? At this rate, as we get in more expensive with the watches are running faster. When I get to the Omega, I mean, it might be 2 minutes fast. But anyway, that's sort of like 23 and 45 minutes, probably might gain another second or so, but again within the sort of parameters of a cheap watch, that's not bad. And to be honest, I'd rather it was running fast than slow, and with my lifestyle I don't need to be worried about a couple of minutes here and there. And to be honest, it's very rare that I wear a watch more than 24 hours, so yeah, no, I'm happy with that. It'd be interesting to see how the other ones go. So the Pagani with the Pearl DG5833 is 17 seconds fast, but that's still within the specifications for that watch movement, so okay. This next watch is the Hindenburg by Zeppelin. Oh dear, what's happened there? And we're coming up to 10 o'clock. The problem is with this watch is that it doesn't have a hacking movement, so I can't set it exactly to the time, so we'll just have to see where we are with it after the 24-hour period. So I can only set it to 10 o'clock there, and when I do it on the still frame, I'm sorry for moving this about, but I'm trying to get the time right, we'll see what happens in 24 hours. So it's running about 45 seconds fast, which makes a bit of a mockery of the test really, because if you can't hack it, you can't unfortunately have it absolutely accurately to the second. So let's see what happens in 24 hours. So we're on the countdown, let's see where we are, and my watch is already just coming up to the, oh, is that 1 minute? No, that's bang on 10 o'clock coming up now. Maybe it's 1 minute past, but I'll check that when I get into close footage. So that was it. It went past 10 and it looked like the watch is running a bit slow, or maybe it's a minute ahead, but we'll check that when we have a look at the footage later on. So that was the Hindenburg. So the Zeppelin with the Miyota 821A is running about 24 seconds fast, again within the spec for that movement. The next test subject is the Steinhart Ocean 1. Now this is in a hacked position, so it's now set to exactly 10:05, and when my timer reaches that point we'll get the watch underway for the next 24 hours. Just out of interest, if anybody's sort of thinking, well, real world test and all the rest of it, I do actually wear these watches on my other wrist for an hour before the test, so that they are wound up to my body temperature, and so we can eliminate that variable. So let's see how this one operates when we get up to 10:05. Right, so we go, 15 seconds to go. Let's get this little baby underway. I'm going to do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 ish. There we go. So let's bang on. Yep, great. So let's see what happens to this one in 24 hours. So 22 seconds to go on the Steinhart Ocean 1. Let's see how this one's done. It's looking pretty good. So the watch is coming up to exactly 10 past 10. Sorry, 5 past 10. And it's just gone past, so it looks like at first glance the watch is running about 6 seconds fast, which I don't think's that bad. Right, okay, let's move on to the next one, the more expensive one. The Steinhart Ocean 1 has a Solita SW200 Elabore movement, and that is looking pretty good at +7 seconds. So here we have the Chris Ward all ready to go at 10:07. Okay, so I'm just going to screw the crown down and get it on my wrist. See you in 24 hours. Well, just made it a few seconds late today on this one, so let's just see when we get to 9. So it's 2 minutes after, 24 hours plus 2 minutes, which was a bit unfortunate. I couldn't find my phone. Oh dear. So here we're coming up to 10:09. The watch is coming up to 10:09, so that looks like it's about 2 seconds out, which is pretty good going, I'd say. But we'll check that with the still and we will see how that has worked. The Chris Ward Trident Pro has the ETA 2824-2, and at +1 second, that's going to be hard to beat even by the Omega. So this could be the big test for the Omega. We're coming up to 10:15, and we'll see how that's performed in the morning. So the countdown begins. One, 2, 3, go. Perfect. So the Omega goes on the wrist for 24 hours and we'll see how it performs in the morning. Let's screw the crown down, get it under my wrist, and off we go. So here we are at the last stages of the Omega test. Be interesting to see how this performs. Just refresh the screen so make sure we get it. So here is the 10-second countdown. 10 seconds to go, and Omega is looking absolutely amazing. It's a 58, 59. Good grief, that Omega is absolutely spot on. I mean, to the second, to the half second. Well, that says it all, really. Okay, let's have a look at the results overall and see how each of these has performed. So this looks to be a great result for the Omega with its in-house 2500 movement. It's actually accurate to with that 1 second. There's no deviation from when it started to the end that I can determine on this test. That is a superb result. So here are the results. I have ranked them by the worst performance against the price ranking, where 1 would be the cheapest and 6 would be the most expensive, and clearly the worst performer is the Zeppelin, which is a bit surprising because out of the 2 movements in the same Miyota movement, or the better one, this is the better one than the watch that's in 3rd place, this should have performed better, but at 24 seconds it's actually performed within the specification of the watch. So that's the Zeppelin LZ129 £300 watch. The next one down is the Pagani with a pearl movement in it, the GMT movement. This was a £78 watch, and that's 17 seconds fast. I can't find any specification for how well that should have performed, but I guess 17 seconds a day is not too bad. I mean, some of those, you know, fairly good movements you know, can be up to 40 seconds a day out, so I can't complain against the price. The AliExpress Pilot in third place, sorry, oh, third worst or third best, depending on fourth best, which way you look at it. That's got the cheapest movement in it, and it's run at 11 seconds fast, which for a sub £50 watch you can't really complain. When we come to the big hitters, I think we're pretty much in line with the price. The first one being the Steinhart Ocean 1, which has got the Solita movement in it, and then the next one at only 1 second fast is the Chris Ward, which is incredible really, and the Steinhart 7 seconds fast. The Steinhart actually has the same type of movement. This is the ETA version of the Solita, or the Solita version of the ETA, essentially the same movement. The Chris Ward one, as I say, 1 second fast, and the Steinhart Ocean one 7 seconds fast. But the clear and outstanding winner in this test has got to be the Seamaster, probably as expected, and it's kept perfectly accurate time, 100% over 24-hour real-world tests. £2,000 against a £600 watch, 4 times the price, more than 4 times the price. The actual price I paid for this versus the actual price I paid for this. You know, both great watches, both Swiss made. This one's obviously got the better name, but is it worth 4 times as much? Yeah, well, I guess it is. This one's gone up in value, this one has gone up in value as well, and they're certainly trying to bring their watches up to the same sort of luxury end. So good luck to them, and yeah, I'm very impressed with that. But there you go. None of the watches have performed particularly badly against the price mark or against what they were expected to do. So all in all, it's pretty much as expected, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you could like and subscribe, that would be a big help, or leave a comment, and I shall see you next time.